Hey, welcome. So if you're a new manager, or maybe you've been doing this for a while and just want a little bit of a refresh, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're basically going to run a practical workshop, and we're diving into the 3 simple, powerful secrets from the classic book, The 1-Minute Manager. Look, this isn't just theory, okay? It's a real game plan for getting fantastic results and building a team that actually loves to come to work and win. So let's get right into it.
Okay, first things first, a quick question for you. I want you to really think about your default style as a manager. You know, when the pressure's on, do you lean towards being the tough boss, the one who's all about the bottom line? Or are you the nice boss, the one who always puts people first? Come on, be honest. Most of us lean one way or the other. And that right there, that's the central dilemma every single new leader has to figure out.
And the book just breaks this down perfectly. On one side, you've got the tough autocrat. They are laser-focused on results. And yeah, the organization might look like it's winning for a little while, but trust me, the people lose. They get burned out. On the flip side, you have the nice Democrat. They're all about their people feeling good. The team is happy, sure, but performance slips and the organization ends up losing. The thing is, both of these are only partially effective. It's kind of like being half a manager. So what's the solution?
And here it is. This is the core idea that just changes the whole game. It's this simple, but incredibly powerful philosophy that the best managers live by. See, it's not about choosing between your people or results. It's about creating a world where feeling good about yourself and producing good results, well, they're 2 sides of the very same coin.
So here's our agenda for this little workshop. We've just touched on the manager's dilemma. Now we're going to unpack the 3 secrets. The playbook, which is all about goals, the high five for giving praise, and the referee's call for making corrections. Then we'll put it all together into a single game plan and wrap up with what might be your most important minute of the day. All right, let's dive into secret number 1, setting 1-minute goals. I think the best way to think about this is like you're creating the team's playbook. I mean, in any sport, right? You can't just expect to win if the players don't even know the objective, the rules, or what a good play looks like. It is exactly the same in management.
So what is a 1-minute goal? Well, it is brilliantly simple. It's a goal that's so clear and so concise that it can be written on a single page in under 250 words, and you can review it in about 60 seconds. The book talks about the 80-20 rule, the idea that 80% of your important results are going to come from just 20% of your goals. Well, this process forces you to nail down that critical 20%.
So here's how you actually do it, step by step. First, you and your team member agree on the goals. This is a conversation, not a command. Then, you clearly define what good performance actually looks like. So for example, a goal might be something like, respond to all high-priority client emails within 2 hours. Okay, but what does good look like? It could be 95% of those emails are answered within that 2-hour window with a clear, helpful response. You write that down, 1 goal per page. And the final steps? They're all about review, empowering your people to check their own progress every single day.
I love this analogy. Imagine going bowling, but there's a huge curtain hiding the pins. You roll the ball, you hear a crash, but you have no earthly idea how many you hit. How long would you stay motivated? Probably not very long, right? Well, clear goals are the pins. They are the #1 motivator because they show people exactly what they're aiming for. And this quote just nails it. Clear goals are what make real feedback even possible. When everyone knows what the target is, feedback isn't some scary surprise attack that happens once a year. No, it's the constant fuel that helps people adjust their aim and get better at the game day in and day out.
Okay, let's move on to secret 2, 1-minute praisings. If goals are the playbook, then praise is the immediate high five you get from the coach on the sidelines when you make a fantastic play. It's all about reinforcing winning behaviors the second they happen.
Now the key here is that you, as the manager, have to actively look for opportunities to catch your people doing something right. This is so important, especially when someone is new to a role or they're just learning a new skill. And this isn't about some generic, hey, good job. This is about immediate, specific, and heartfelt recognition of a job well done. The process itself is just so powerful. You praise them right away. You get super specific, not just great presentation, but wow, the way you used the data on slide 7 to answer their toughest question, that was brilliant. You tell them the positive impact it had, and then, this part is absolutely crucial. You just pause for a second. You let that good feeling sink in before you encourage more of that exact same behavior.
Think about how they train a whale at an aquarium. They don't just wait for the whale to jump 20 feet out of the water on day 1. No way! They start with a rope just sitting on the bottom of the pool, and they reward the whale just for swimming over it. Then they raise it,
bit by bit. That is what praising does. You reward approximately right behavior until it becomes exactly right behavior. So here's the bottom line. Your job as a manager isn't to be a critic who hunts for flaws. It's to be a coach who finds and builds on strengths. This whole philosophy is about building people up, not tearing them down.
All right, now for secret 3. And let's be honest, this is the one that can be the most challenging for us, the 1-minute reprimand. If praise is the coach's high five, the reprimand is the referee's call. It's not personal. It's fair, it's immediate, and it's an impartial call on a specific behavior that's out of bounds.
Okay, a really important point here. This is not for new people who are still learning. This is for your experienced people, the ones who know how to do the job right but have made a mistake. The reprimand is so carefully designed to address the behavior without attacking the person's character or their value. Now look at how this is structured. It's 2 distinct halves. The first half is tough on the behavior. You address the mistake right away, you're specific, you share how it made you feel, and then you pause. That moment of uncomfortable silence is incredibly powerful. But then you pivot to the second half, which is all about supporting the person. You reaffirm how much you value them, and you make it crystal clear that once this conversation is done, it is truly over. No grudges, no bringing it up again.
And this quote, this is the philosophical heart of the reprimand. A mistake is just a behavior. It's a single action. It does not define a person's entire worth. And by clearly separating the two, you allow someone to hear that difficult feedback, correct their action, and move forward with their dignity completely intact.
Okay, so we have our 3 secrets: goals, praisings, and reprimands. But how do they actually work together as a complete system? Let's take a look at the full game plan. And this visualizes the entire process just beautifully. Let's trace the path, okay? It all starts at the top with those clear 1-minute goals. From there, you just follow the arrows. Did the person do the right thing? If yes, boom, the path leads directly to a 1-minute praising to reinforce that success. If no, the path leads to a 1-minute reprimand to correct the behavior. It's this continuous loop of clarity, reinforcement, and correction.
So, we've covered the playbook, the high five, and the referee's call. We've seen how they all fit together into this elegant system. Now, let's bring it all home with the single biggest takeaway, the one idea that makes all of this work. In this quote, this really gets to the soul of the entire philosophy. You see, these techniques aren't about saving time just to be more efficient. They're about investing time. Every single minute you spend clarifying a goal, giving a genuine praising, or delivering a fair reprimand is an investment in your people's success, which, of course, directly fuels your team's success. One last thing for you to think about. A number. 1440. Every single day, every single one of us is given this exact same number of minutes. No more, no less. It is the one resource that is perfectly, completely equal for every person on this planet.
So, the final question I have is for you. With all those minutes you have in your day today, what are you going to do with just one? Will you use it to set a crystal clear goal with someone, to catch someone doing something right, or to make a fair and needed correction? The choice is yours, and that single minute, it can make all the difference.